A potential court case involving Pastor Rod Parsley, his ministry, and the numerous allegations levied against him and his inner circle would undoubtedly be one of the most explosive and damaging legal battles in recent ministry history. Robin Torgrimson's detailed accounts, coupled with episodes from her Maniacs podcast and Everett's Ohio for Freedom podcast, paint a deeply troubling picture of a ministry embroiled in a web of alleged unethical, abusive, and criminal behavior. If these claims hold up in court, the fallout could tarnish the reputation of Parsley and his family irreversibly. At the core of these accusations are serious claims of abuse, physical, verbal, and sexual, allegedly committed by Parsley and individuals within his inner circle, including people close to the church like the late Terry Kelly and Edward Ramirez. Former students from Valor Christian College, a subsidiary of World Harvest Church, have come forward with allegations of mistreatment and manipulation under Parsley's leadership. These stories, if corroborated, reveal a toxic environment where spiritual authority was allegedly abused to suppress critical thinking, exploit power imbalances, and protect high-ranking offenders. The rumors surrounding Parsley's response, or lack thereof, to alleged incidents of child molestation, sexual misconduct, and emotional abuse only deepen the moral quagmire surrounding his leadership. By allegedly shielding friends like Kelly, accused of molesting one minor and impregnating another, or Ramirez, who allegedly turned a blind eye to child abuse accusations, Parsley's moral authority as a spiritual leader stands in direct contradiction to the values he preaches. If brought to light in a courtroom, these accusations of protecting abusers instead of defending victims could destroy his ministry's credibility. A pastor is expected to be a shepherd, guarding the flock against harm. But if a pattern of negligence or complicity in criminal activities is demonstrated, it will be hard to recover from such damning revelations. One of the most shocking potential developments is the possibility that members of the Parsley family, including his daughter Ashton and his wife Joni, might be called to testify. The personal nature of these accusations could drag the entire Parsley household into a public trial, which might further destabilize the family's public image. Allegations surrounding Ashton Parsley, particularly an alleged relationship with a minor during her mid to late 20s and rumors of a suicide attempt, could place immense pressure on her testimony. This not only puts Ashton's credibility into question, but also invites speculation about her father's possible role in covering up or mitigating the fallout from such a scandal. Joni Parsley's testimony could be equally impactful. Questions regarding her knowledge of her husband's alleged abuse, whether she's been subjected to abuse at home, and the overall state of her marriage may force her into an uncomfortable public examination. Such questioning would also invite media scrutiny, as Joni's status as a public figure makes her vulnerable to intense criticism, especially if she is perceived as enabling her husband's actions. Then there's the matter of Austin Parsley, Pastor Rod Parsley's autistic son, who may be forced into the legal spotlight. Subjecting him to aggressive questioning could be emotionally and psychologically damaging, not only for him but for the Parsley family at large. Given his condition, this could be seen as an act of cruelty, further casting a shadow over Rod Parsley's moral compass as a father. The scope of witnesses expected to testify could also be a devastating factor. Figures like Bill Canfield and Deborah George, former leaders Jermaine and Lisa Brunson, and other ex-leaders like Ronnie and Stephanie Harrison may be summoned to court, bringing with them years of insider knowledge of the operations at World Harvest Church. Their testimonies could expose how deeply rooted these alleged abusive practices were within the institution. This case could easily spiral out of control if other church leaders who've closely aligned themselves with Parsley over the years are dragged into the legal fray. Prominent pastors such as Samuel Rodriguez, Ron Carpenter, Real Talk Kim, and Medina Pullings, figures who regularly appear at Parsley's Dominion Camp meeting, could face tough questions about what they knew and when they knew it. Their association with Parsley, even if indirectly, could severely damage their own ministries and reputations. City Harvest Network, the Go-Along Get-Along Gang exposed. The role of City Harvest Network, a network of churches affiliated with Parsley's ministry, could come under fire as well. CHN may be seen as complicit in these abuses if their leadership is found to have turned a blind eye or acted in concert with Parsley to silence critics and protect perpetrators. If these accusations are true, CHN's leadership could be perceived as part of a go-along, get-along gang, prioritizing the protection of their status and positions over seeking justice for victims. This could irreparably damage the network's credibility and its future viability, as pastors and congregations alike may distance themselves to avoid being tainted by the scandal. Any exposure of CHN's silence or complicity could signal a broader corruption within the evangelical leadership structure, casting a long shadow over affiliated churches and leaders. Potential legal fallout, a tarnished legacy. The potential consequences of this legal battle stretch beyond mere reputational damage. The Parsley name, built on decades of televangelism and religious leadership, risks permanent taint. A public, high-profile trial centered around allegations of abuse, unethical conduct, and moral failure would decimate the trust and faith of many within his congregation and the broader evangelical community. Financial consequences could be dire as well. If evidence surfaces that World Harvest Church funds were used to cover up scandals or protect abusive leaders, legal action could lead to costly settlements, fines, and even the dissolution of parts of the church. Donations and tithes essential to maintaining the ministry would likely plummet as congregants lose faith in the leadership. A battle for the future of evangelical leadership. The broader implications of this case could reverberate throughout evangelical circles in the United States. If Rod Parsley, once a prominent televangelist and pastor, is legally found to have ignored or enabled abuse within his ministry, it will be a catastrophic blow to the credibility of Christian leadership in the modern era. It would send a clear message that no pastor, regardless of fame or influence, is above moral and legal scrutiny. Multiple media outlets like Fox News, CNN, and TMZ could turn the case into a national spectacle, amplifying its impact and further swaying public opinion. The extensive coverage across various networks would keep the legal battle at the forefront of public discourse, intensifying the pressure on Parsley and potentially encouraging more victims or witnesses to come forward. In conclusion, this case, if it reaches a courtroom, has the potential to be one of the most damaging and messy in ministry history. The allegations range from abuse of power to serious criminal acts, and if proven true, they will likely end Rod Parsley's career as a pastor, shatter the faith of his followers, and permanently tarnish the Parsley legacy. The fallout from such a case could reshape how accountability is enforced in religious institutions, proving that even those in positions of spiritual authority are not immune from the consequences of their actions. That being said, does Pastor Rod Parsley want that kind of smoke? Or is it best for him, his family, and those in his circle to come clean and confess any wrongdoings on their end? Accountability is paramount. One way or another, that will be learned.